Welcome to podcast with McDonald Nyoni. In short, we say Mac Nyoni. We move the donuts there. So welcome to the show. This is a special edition. I think every episode is special because I have a special guest, Kondwani. We knew each other a long time ago, and here we are. So today is about fellas. I think about fellas, about business, growing brands in Malawi, software, internet, and all those things. So all things tech is in this project, in this episode, however you call it. So yes, Kondwani, every time I remember you, my memories are that you once employed me. Yes, you once employed me. At time 2014, good?
Yeah, that was 2014.
2014, yeah. I was a very pathetic person. And I failed the company. yeah, so let's start from your background. You have been renowned in Malawi for doing business in IT. You've done a lot of work. What's your background in this space? What has been happening with you for you to be in the space and become the known person in IT? Where does it come from?
Okay, I'm a tech guy. So biased towards software. Okay, so I'm a tech guy. Biased towards software development, but also the other things I can do.
Man of many talents.
Yeah. Of course, so many are related to technology, but my main focus is developing software integration. So I did my training at Mzuzu. So that's why I learned how to write software, develop things and stuff. In those days, we used to have some people who used to give us some projects from US. So break on the projects, they could pay us in dollars, and then we could spend the money buying Coca-Cola and stuff. In those days, like money was just too much, for a student.
Yeah, for a student.
So because we are giving us challenging tasks as students, including the lectures, we are giving us projects. I remember my first project at Anzuni. It was like I was developing a software for a garage, Luinga side. So it was a challenging task, but then I managed to develop it. They paid me. It was small money compared to today's money, but it was
it was money. Come on.
Yes.
When you were a student, even 10,000 was a big deal. Right?
Actually, I still remember we went to Mataifa side. I bought
after getting the payment.
Yes,
I'm paid.
Exactly. So the feeling was just nice. The experience was good. So the whole idea is if you succeed in implementing something, you are so happy. Yeah. But then the money comes in as a complementary thing that also inspires you more to say, I think I can do something. I think I can develop something. And then that was the beginning of everything.
Yeah. Now, I think working in the university, whatever money that will come in your pocket out of your sweat was worth a celebration. And if you went to the Mataifa, got a few jeans, eh?
Yes, in those days. So that's the background. That's how I managed to acquire a few skills, the experience. So literally, I had a work experience even before I graduated from the university. Yeah. Like I worked with several companies. Imagine like we are in Malawi and then we are working with some company in US. So we're developing web apps, news sites. So after we do the work and stuff, they used to pay us. It was only $60 anyway in those days.
Yeah, and then it was huge.
Yeah.
2009.
Yes, that was like 2011, 12. Yes. So the money was huge, and then you look at a student, you have less responsibilities,
responsibilities.
So
paying rent.
Exactly. So it was all fun and stuff. So that's the whole background of how I managed to get into the tech industry.
Cool. And then the name of your company is Giant Plus, and while we were offline, we were talking about that. You say that Giant Plus, there's a story around it. What's the story? What is Giant Plus?
So when I mention Giant Plus, people are like, Giant and then a plus. I said, yeah, there should be a giant and then it should be an extra plus there. But then when I go for project meetings, interviews, pitching, people be like, okay, so are you from Giant Plus? I said, yeah, I am from Giant Plus. I said, are you a giant? I'm like, no, of course, it's just a name.
Yeah.
But
no, expecting some.
Yeah, literally the language that says.
Bodybuilding guy.
Yeah, so I just say Kali konsemu kaona. So literally, it's like, okay, we are here, and then that's the name. We look small and stuff, but then we should be able to give you whatever you are expecting. Yeah. And then you have to try us and see what will be the result. But for the name Giant Plus to come in, it was an academic project for my fourth year project. So the whole idea was to make sure people from rural areas, especially in Nzimba, Rumpi, they're able to sell their items or products online using featured phones.
Was that the whole idea?
Well, it was a crazy idea, of course.
Yeah, but it was worth it. It is what people are still struggling with even today.
Yeah, so I presented to my supervisor. I said I want to develop a system whereby if you send a text, that text should be posted online directly. So it'd be like, I have 3 chickens, I'm selling at this price, contact me on this number. So you just send a text to a certain number, then it's online. Just the way you post on Facebook.
Then it goes.
But then you text that one. My lecturer was like, are you sure you can do this? I said, yeah, let me try. So I started developing the system, and then I acquired all the technologies, and then it really worked. Then I sat down and I said, what should I call this one? And then something came in and I said, this one should be a giant and then a plus. So it was Giant Plus eventually. But then after I finished the project, I tried to work with some telecom companies to implement it. But then I think the technology I used, and then in those days, I had no idea how people go to implement projects, who they meet, what they are supposed to do. So we failed to implement the whole project. But yeah, it was a nice idea, and then I got a lot of feedback on it and how the software was. Nice, yeah. So that's how the name Giant Plus came in.
So yeah, I think it's really interesting that the Giant Plus idea is not just some name out there that comes out of nowhere. It comes from a project that you wanted to do. And what is interesting me is the elusiveness in the space of Malawi. You wanted to do something that really resonates with the investment of the agriculture development, industrialization, whatever, creating markets for people and stuff. That was good. But Giant Plus later on came in into a project. That's where this is more interesting. Because when I saw Giant Plus, there was a site which was called Giant Plus.
Yes.
This site was a tourism site. It was so popular around here. Lodges, I think taxi owners, people having leisure centers and stuff were using this platform for them to communicate and to list their stuff, their materials and their stuff. What happened with this project?
So,
and why did you risk naming it 10 Plus?
So I was working with some company. So I had a partner. We had a company. We have several projects and stuff. So I discovered that there's a very huge opportunity in the tourism industry. You can't find the data that is so centralized somewhere that you can easily access on different places, lodges and stuff. So I met Dennis Iman. I said, I think I can build something that can house all the data somewhere, that when someone is coming to Malawi or within Malawi can easily access the data. For example, if you are going to Cholo, you have a workshop there and stuff, it's so difficult for you to find the lodging in Cholo. What will happen is you go to Cholo and then you start looking for the places. Yeah. But that's not should be the case. Yeah. You should be here and then you should book accommodation. Everything should be as seamless as it is supposed to be, and then just go there and spend the night or whatever you are supposed to do. So I said, let's build a platform that we have all these listings in Malawi. But then I had no any other name. Then I remembered the name I used to
for the project.
Yes, for the project. So I said, let's build Giant Plus. So Giant Plus wasn't a company in those days.
In those days, yeah.
It was just a project for another tech company. So we are running a tech company, but then we wanted to build a product, one of the products for the company, and then one of the products was Giant Plus. So it was Easter holiday. Then I said, this Easter I'm indoors for 4 days. Let's write some code. So I wrote code from Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I saw that I think he have some potential there to deploy the whole website and stuff. So I called a friend. I said, I need the listings for the tourism industry. He said, I have almost 4,000 of them.
Wow.
I said, that's fine. Let's add them on the site. So I added them on the site, and then everything was just okay. Then I remembered that I had a friend at the university, Dennis. By then, Dennis was in Mangochi managing a lodge.
Yeah.
So I called Dennis. I said, Dennis, what are you doing in Mango? He said, I'm a manager at some lodge. I said, can you resign and come to Lilongwe? He said, yeah, I'm not sure if I can do that. I said, your parents are here and everyone is here, and it's Lilongwe.
Yeah.
You can do more.
Anything can happen.
Exactly. So then after several discussions and stuff, he resigned.
You made Dennis resign.
Yes,
I need to talk to him about that. You resigned as a manager.
Actually, he literally resigned as a manager for some lodge in Mangochi. Then he came in and I said, Dennis, we have this thing. Can you run it? Dennis said, yes, we can run it.
Yeah.
So Dennis is a guy who knows how to maneuver around arts, culture, and tourism. So I knew he will manage to run the whole thing. And then he brought also some insights and said, we can complement the whole ecosystem. I mean, you can create the whole ecosystem whereby you have tourism that will be completed by arts, culture, and everything that is around the whole process. So I said, okay. So I handed over the platform. He started marketing it. And then in 2015, if I'm not wrong, we got an award from Lake of Stars as the best media company in tourism.
Imagine, I saw that. I was like, okay.
So we started getting bookings. Even we got some people to advertise on the site from US. So they said, you want to advertise the Mangochi section. So they were only appearing in Mangochi tourism section only. So they were able to advertise. The site was growing huge.
Yeah.
So I discovered that in Malawi it's so difficult to in those days. I'm not sure now. I haven't explored more. It's so difficult to run an online platform without also physical presence on the ground. So I said, let's combine the online platform and the physical appearance on the ground. Then we had to strike some deals whereby we were able to parade artists in some places where they could perform every Fridays, every Saturdays. So we had like all the fun. Then I said, no, I think we can't stop here. Let's create another section whereby you should be able to also have artists. We can sign.
Yes.
So that's how the project started.
Do you know there's a funny story? We'll come back to the Giant Plus story. But when we created the Giant Plus records, where we were signing artists, one of the artists we signed is Mzuzu. Happens to be brothers. We were brothers to a woman I married. So apparently this establishment of that the establishment of that record helped me to meet these guys. And I was meeting these guys. I saw a woman there, and I married them. Crazy story, huh?
No, I remember the connection.
You remember that time? Because that time I was in Mzuzu, you say, can you connect with these guys? Can you look at the people who are in that time? I know these black-based family guys.
Exactly.
Let me get them. While I was there discussing contracts, I said,
you should give me something for...
address is benefit. But so that's a side story. But when I saw the Giant Plus platform and I saw it growing, it was amazing because it was something that was of a different era, but in that old era. You were thinking what is happening now, which is people having cards to pay and making it easy, where now communication is much easier than that time. what do you think would have caused the challenge for it to fail after awards, after getting all the notice like that?
So I'm good at using technology to support any other industry, right? You come here and tell me issues that are happening in the society.
Yeah.
I will be able to translate that into technology. So the same way of doing is you will sit down and say, we can be getting cars, people can be hiring, people can we had a section where we used to call it experience my city.
Yeah,
so
people would get in bikes, right?
Yeah,
and just move around the city. Yeah.
Exactly. So people will go to a place and then they will have fun. They will go to every place and stuff. But then you have no idea of the place if it's not digitized.
Yeah.
So we created different sections on the platform, on the website. We said express my city. So you go to Mangoji at a certain place, and then you have all the fun, everything. And then when you come back, you write a review of the place, and then you put it on the site. Now, technically, if I know you, and then you write a review, obviously I'll go to the place because I know you.
Because I know you, yeah.
Yes. So we believed in first-hand information. But if you take the story to a media house and then they write the story, people will be like, oh, nice PR. You know it. Yeah. It looks like it's not real.
It's just a PR.
So that was the whole idea. But now what I discovered is I think we had a lot on our hands. We wanted to fix everything, we wanted to put everything together, and then things started slipping out. Yeah. We had also even programs on radios, imagine about what it is. So it's like within a short period of time, we are doing like millions of things, you know.
But the team was small.
The team was just small. And when we relied on a very few people. Yeah. I was good at creating ideas. They say, oh, we need this tech, I could create it and stuff. But then it was so difficult to complement everything with the team that was so small at that time. But also, since it was a new idea, you know, a startup. A startup requires people who are so dedicated.
Who are available.
Exactly, who are available, who are so focused.
Yeah.
And then they are looking at the thing and say, this one, we are building it like this. So because of those challenges that we had, it was so complex to move forward. And also adoptions were, I mean, you can't compare 2021 to 2014, 15. Technologically,
because technologically people
exactly there are so many variables that have changed. It was so difficult even to make payments outside Malawi. So what we used to do, we had partners around who say, oh, we want to pay for this one, and then they say, we can pay for you, go and pay my grandfather this money, you know, just exchanging money like that. So all those challenges made the giant place to cease. to fail. So we failed a lot on the Giant Plus platform, and also the music section, the recording company, we couldn't also sustain it. We had limited resources. Also, we had limited experience. On the other hand, what I learned is that people who have talent or who are doing something, and they have been there before doing the things on their own, it's so difficult to manage them or control them. I think as we are applying the term difficult, but also it makes them to complicate their business life. If artists could be loyal and have a manager that could manage everything for them, provide everything for them, I think they would have a sustainable future at the end of the day.
You know, the crazy thing about building startups, what my theory is, you need to have a team that is 100%. Most of the times we get people and we allow them to do other things. Just come here, do 1 hour and do this. Most of the times it's difficult for them to put their A game, so they do the work as if they are just working for another corporation.
Exactly.
So they'll give you, let's say 20% today, another day 30, another day 10, another day 90.
You see?
So there's no dedication if you are building a startup with a team that is not fully in.
And that was like 2015, 2014. I had no experience in building teams.
Yeah.
I had no exact experience in building startups. I had the skill.
Yeah.
I can build anything. But then assembling the whole team and say, let's do this, then motivating them.
I'm going to be guiding you.
Empowering them. I had no skills like those ones. But failure makes you learn more.
Makes you learn. Because leadership, for instance, leadership in the startup area, in the startup sector, is not, I call it, is more difficult than if you find an organization that is already fully established.
Exactly.
In the startup sector, you have a lot to say, to want to make sure that people stay, and then motivate them, to give them direction so that they know the clear vision and they're able to follow that.
Exactly.
Usually it's only you, the founder, who communicates that.
Exactly. So people, sometimes founders make a mistake. They say, I'm carrying the vision, right? But if you don't share the vision, if you are a team, where you are going to, you are prone to more failure actually at the end of the day. But if you also don't empower your team in another way, you are prone to more failure. And also, as young people, you have to be more versatile when reading them. You have to understand what they really want at the end of the day. You have to provide them what they need at that time. Eventually, you build a team whereby it's a chain, right? Every part of that chain depends on the other part. You build relationships that are so close and connected. Eventually, you carry the whole startup, and then you accelerate like nobody's business.
Yeah, but anyway, Giant Plus was a success in its prime time. Hurdles, things that people talk
But remember,
about.
that time it was just a project. It wasn't a company registered or anything.
It was just a project.
It was just an
That's
arm.
we wanted to separate that, because that time Giant Plus was a website.
Yes, just a website, a product, yes.
That was delivering some service.
Exactly, yes.
And then it failed, it ceased. And then later on, all of a sudden you come out, you say, I have a new company, Giant Plus. Like, we're even afraid that you carry on the bad luck of Giant Plus, the project, and you brought it to...
So I want to explain exactly what happened after some time.
Yeah.
But I'll just give you small. So after a lot of things happened, so I failed. You have to go back to the drawing board.
Yeah.
So I had to disappear from the industry, from software and stuff, almost a year. So I went home. I said, let me stay at home for a year. Let me plan whatever next move.
Home was your parents?
Like I was at my home. I just stayed at home, not working or not doing anything.
How are you paying your bills?
Well, you have to do your homework before you do anything. So I went back, and then I was saying like, should I go back to technology, or should I find something else to do? So it took me time to make a decision. But then after some time, what happened in those days, which I haven't disclosed, it went further to whereby some other people were involved, lawyers, friends, partners. And then we started sorting out the issues that happened. I think that would be a story for another day.
Yeah, that's a story for another day. But
after we sorted out the issues, then I was provided with some licenses in terms of software license, which we built, the software was built at that previous company whereby we were running the Giant Plus as a website.
As a website, yeah.
Then I was also given some apps and stuff. Then I said, okay, so I've been provided with these things. How do I manage the software? How do I manage the web services? How do I support these other people? Then I had to bounce back into tech. So the only close name that I had at that time was Giant Plus. So I had to go to the registrar of companies and registered Giant Plus, and then it was a company. But then in those days at the previous company, we were doing IT services, right? So if you call me that you want a network, I'll come. And then the team, I'll provide the team and everything. If you want a data center, we had a team. It will build a data center. If you want a software, we have a team. The bad part is we are doing everything.
Yeah, that's crazy about the IT business.
Exactly. So so literally it was bad, but because we were trying to attack the market and then look for a specific section we could go, and then we knew that building a software can take time. We want to finance ourselves. It was a bootstrapped company. Bootstrapping was so tough. Then we had to provide a lot of services eventually, because the money might be coming frequently. But then later, when I grew up, when I was registering Giant Plus, I said, no, I'm building software applications only.
I focus on software.
Service only. SaaS, yes.
Wow.
So
you're into SaaS.
Yes.
Great. SaaS, software as a service. All right. Great. So you built John Plus, and now you have so many exploits, working with different partners, working in this space. What are the lessons that you have now into software? Because I have come to think that software in Malawi doesn't work. One, I feel people are unrealistic in their demands of what software they need. And then it becomes difficult for people that build those platforms.
Well, the 1 year I stayed at home, the 7 to 8 months, it was just staying around and stuff. That was the time when they said, we are giving you this and stuff, we have closed this and all. Then I had to sit down and say, can the software work in Malawi? I did research a lot of it. So if you provide a software, that happens to some company, they will use it maybe for a year and then boom, they'll stop using it. Yes, they'll go back to wherever, how they were doing stuff. That's what happens in so many places. Software,
even if you build your website,
yes,
usually it's 1 year.
Exactly.
After that year, then everything is stopped.
So that's the industry I was researching on, sustainability. So my business type, which I was building with the team, was that it should not be one-off. So I can't come and install a network and then we forget each other. No, man. We have to have a relationship that will exist for the next 100 years, 50 years, 30 years. That's why I had to build software. So I discovered that the first problem is the pricing. So if you want to build a software for you, I will say, okay, 200 million. If you pay me that amount of money, I walk away and you are happy. But if there is a problem that you need the support, that's where everything will start. Because I will need money as well when I'm supporting you. And then you say, I paid you a lot of money to build this. So everything will collapse. So I built a model, which we call RRM, Recurring Revenue Model. So when I build a software, I will license it. When I license it, you keep on paying the license every year. But we build the software so perfect that if you are using paper or anything else, you want to even think of going back. Our first client in 2016 was a school. The room, the office, they were transacting everything and stuff. Man, it had all the paper everywhere. There was an incident whereby a parent came in and said, I paid the school fees for my kid like last week, but you have returned my kid. So I'm here, you have to show me the receipt. Oh, it was hell on earth. They couldn't trace receipts. So many books and stuff. Then I told them that no, we just need to build a software. What will happen is just search the name and then you should know the history. And even you can print the account for that student, the balances and all. Then we built the software, we got nice, we ended up getting more projects on the software because of the software we built. Imagine that was 2016. Up to now, the software is still running. It has transacted billions and billions of money. We're able to generate a school reports. Everything is just automated. Like it just works.
So your focus on software was okay, how can I build a sustainable company that's focused on software?
Yes, that's it.
So you thought the recurring model was the best.
That was the best.
But do you think the Malawi market? I think other markets in the region, probably other strong markets within Africa or maybe in Asia, that would grasp this easily.
Well,
but the Malawi market is quite young.
Well, let me say something else. I'm an evangelist, a tech evangelist, right? So literally what I do is I move people to tech, whether you want or not.
So you preach?
Yes, I say the way your operations are, everything, the way it is, you guys will collapse. Let's build something like this. I'll give you an example for the websites that we built. People will build a website. A nice website, a good looking and stuff, and then they'll host it and then it ends there. No, that's a dead website. The whole idea is to use data to analyze whatever is happening around. When we build a website, we also add analytics to the website. So literally it tells you who are the visitors, where they are coming from, what pages are they frequently accessing. Even if they are calling via the website, you tell you that you received this number of calls, the locations, everything it tracks that way, and then it plots the graphs. The whole idea is when I come back, I say, this month, these are the number of visitors that visited this website. Even if people go on Google and search your website, it tracks that data, and then it gives it plots at the back end of the website. They say people searched your company with this old name, but the website redirected you to the new name. So the whole idea is if you look at everything around, will you go back to the clientele that the pages that you have to be updating information on are these pages, because that's what people are looking for. These are the pages that people are visiting. This is the content that people are downloading. These pages, no one is visiting them. So when you have the feedback that you are analyzing and stuff, people will come back. People will be like, can you do this? I said, yeah, we are a data company eventually. We are not a software company that much,
so
but it's more or less like
into
data.
Yes. So that you can help people realize
exactly
what that data says about them.
We say data is the new oil, right? So
I heard about that.
So if you no, oil is dying, but now data is everything. So if you have feedback or data, it's like a shop, right? You open in the morning, and then people come in and go, and then buy and stuff. At the end of the day, you sit down and say, which are the items that have been bought by these people frequently. The others you bought, but no one is buying them. That analysis will will help you to go back to your drawing board and say, I can't order this thing anymore. I can't do this anymore. So the idea of building a data company now is trying to tell different companies, say, based on the data that we have on this software, you haven't collected enough revenue. It could be reasons like this and stuff. So they go back. Even the class performance, when you plot the graphs and say English score, this one, mathematics and this one and stuff, they do print it out, and then they sit with the lecturers and teachers and say, performance, what's wrong with this one?
But they should not print it out because you're trying to do away with paper. They better project somewhere. So interesting stuff about tech, about everything, software and the like. But I think I want to go back to you, Kondwani, specifically around building a company in Malawi. I feel like it's for people that are entrepreneurs, people that are doing IT, they want to invest, they want to go in this space. The question that has always been there is, how do you build a company in Malawi that can work in a way? My first episode, I was talking to my colleague, my business partner then, Wazy, of how we failed in our business. We had an idea of what we called Malawi Hub, a platform where people can sell and stuff. But he failed, and I think I have a series of so many fails I've passed through to this level. And that tells a story of how difficult it is. And I've known companies, I've been friends with people who have companies, ITs to be specific, which have failed. And I don't think there are so many companies that have moved past the 5-year mark in IT. What happens in this IT? But IT is changing. People are adopting IT. Surprisingly, so many people are going away of doing the business in IT. And the new ones come, they just do design a few posters and they disappear. What happens with startups in IT?
So 5 years ago, 6 years ago, there were so many companies. I could see them. Nowadays, I don't see them. A lot changed. They went to the easy way. Building a software company is not easy. It's difficult. The first thing you have to do is you have to research and look at the market. What are the needs? The thing is, so many young people have the skills to develop a software. So if you know how to develop software, you end up starting a company. No, that's not the whole idea.
I find that to be an issue. You just know how to do this, and then tomorrow you want to own your own company. But I ask myself, if all the software developers at Google, all the software developers at Facebook would say, I know how to do code, and then start their own companies, would we have these platforms working?
No, not at all. So the first thing, you have to understand the market, how the market is. The second thing is you have to be more dynamic, versatile, and understand the change, how change is happening, and you have to adapt to that change eventually, each and every day.
Yeah.
As I've said, the other thing is you have to be an evangelist eventually. There are other software applications you have sold, but the people didn't want them eventually. But at the end of the day,
so you forced them in a way.
They discovered that the best thing that has happened to them at the end of the day. Now, when you look at all these things, and the other thing that people focus on is marketing. I find the marketing sometimes so weird. Like you have to put adverts and stuff somewhere. It's necessary, people to know you and stuff. But I would say most of the projects that we got, almost 92%, they're just referrals.
Yeah.
So the whole year we are so busy by being referred to. People will just say, "Oh, we have emailed you an RFQ. Can you fill it and submit back and stuff?" And then we submit everything, and then boom, everything works. Because if you build a product that is so important, that catches an eye of someone, it hosts the company, it builds the company at the end of the day, and then they really depend on it. Everything works like that.
So you have to be a charming person. So if you want to be an entrepreneur in the IT space, what Kondwani says here, you have to be charming to evangelize about your product. So make sure that people are converted to using your solutions or to using the technology that you've built, and it works. But what I find awkward about the IT sector is the confusion that comes in. The confusion in terms of the level of adoption. And you mentioned in the beginning to say you always have a software or a website surviving just for a year, and when it's time for renewal, usually people will drop it and they don't want to do it anymore.
Yes. So
is it an issue of money? Is it an issue of when people are making decisions on software or on websites, they don't have a position of what they want to really achieve, and then it just goes on like that?
Well, I'll give you two sections of the whole story. As a developer, a software or web developer, literally a young man who owns a company and stuff is desperate for money.
Yeah.
So you drop something and then he walks away with the money. Then he gives someone to host the website and stuff. It ends there.
Yeah.
Now, the one who wanted the service needs more. People are like, if you build a website, it will be a business card, a face for your company. And so they're like, okay.
Yeah.
Then they do that. After 1 year, they discover that it's not what they expected. So it's like someone wanted money, he's gone. Someone didn't get what he was expecting. Eventually, he's not renewing the license of the software or the website. But if you build something more that someone needs, you know what happens is someone will tell me that these are the specs for the website, these are the specs for the software. Then he finishes everything. I said, no, this is not what you want. He'll be like, this is what we want. I said, no, that's not what. Listen to me, exactly what you want, I know. Then I'll tell them, this is what you want, because if you do this, this will happen. If you do that, that will happen. If you do that, that will happen, like that. So they say, I think you are right. Can you demonstrate that one? Then you demonstrate eventually, and then you keep the system running, all the patches and stuff. Then after a year, they say, it's working. We got emails from these guys, we got feedback from these guys, we are getting these statistics. What are the renewal fees now? And then the relationship is ascended. I will tell you that from 2016 to 2021, we have only lost, I think, 3 clients. Now I will explain all of them. The first one, it was we had a Tanzanian client, so we were managing everything. So we have some clients in Tanzania, in Zambia. We are managing everything and stuff. But then the owner of the company had a relative who did IT. So they wanted us to transfer everything so that they will be fixing that side. So we lost. But the idea is not we failed, right?
Yeah, you transfer the knowledge.
Yes. The other one, it was like we are a proxy for that system or software. Then someone said, no, we don't want proxies. I'm taking over everything. So he wasn't staying in Malawi, so he was managing it. But now the past 2 to 3 weeks, the guys have been calling. You guys disappeared from the face. Can you come back? How do we fix this? We want to move to you and stuff. You know, I had a scenario whereby I dropped a client based on other things. He kept, the client was a white lady. She kept calling. He said, no, you can't drop me. You do these things. I'm like, okay, do it and stuff.
I've dropped clients, and I do that so many times. Sometimes you see, you just have to protect yourself. Some clients are, I don't want to say a lot of stuff, may end up watching this and never get paid.
But also, the other thing is you have to compliment.
Yeah.
We have very huge clients and we have very small clients. But people will see the small clients and say, this is what you do. Then people will see the huge clients and say, this is what you do. You don't leave a client no matter how big or small he or she is.
You only leave toxic clients.
Yes. That is if you can't manage the toxicity, because you have a neutralizer as well. So
yeah, I hear you. I want to quickly, as we going to the end, talk more about running a business, but in the context of payments. How do you handle clients who don't pay? What's your secret? Do you sue them? How many have you sued so far? How is your company lawyer making money in the course?
So we had that conversation like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
We have some weird clients, of course.
Yeah.
So they are so weird in terms of payments and stuff. So I have a finance guy who manages all the finance. So he was saying, why can't you put an interest when people are not doing this and stuff?
When they do a delay.
Yes, a delay and stuff. Why can't you recover this and stuff and stuff? But then he looking at the market, even including the government. Oh, the government won't pay you overnight.
One pay you and one pay you an interest.
Yes, so you have to adapt to that environment, and eventually, Malawi is too small. You might end up creating bad blood again. Now, I have a formula. I create a complementary formula, right? So if you have the left hand doing something, the right hand is waiting somewhere. If anything that is happening to the left hand is dropping something, the right hand must help. So literally, we do pay out a lot of money too. So if these people are not paying us, it's hard for us as well to pay out, to run the whole company. Yeah. We spend a lot to run all the services, the servers, the infrastructure, the team. Because the other thing that we do is we provide other services complementary to what we are doing. So for us to win all the clients, we found a weakness in so many companies. So which I can't mention, of course.
For security.
Which makes us win a lot, but then it also we are prone to a lot of work overnight, during the day and stuff and all the things, right? So we optimize our payments, that some of the transactions they can complement the other payments, while we are still working on the others. I think our clients haven't gone that extreme that we can.
You have sued them.
Yeah. So yeah. So courts. Yeah. I believe that's extreme as well. We will always find a way.
Okay.
I'm a guy who works with machines always, and a machine does exactly what you tell it. But a human being has always a soft spot, no matter what. So you have to understand a human being, work around human beings, and get what you want at the end of the day.
Because you see, when you don't get payments from these clients, the challenge is always you don't have money, you don't have cash flow for the company, and that affects you even to pay your own people, and that's big for startups. So do you intend to, have you not been in a place where you've been affected to support your own team, to pay your own team, well, because of some client who's making delays? I have seen scenarios like that.
Well, I've had that experience before.
Yeah.
Whereby you are waiting for a huge payment and then there are so many delays and stuff. Yeah. And that one, I had it like the past.
And the bank can borrow the money to pay for you, to pay your people.
Like 2016, 2017, it wasn't that easy, right? Then I sat down and said, how do we fix all these things? because they might end up coming back and stuff. So I built other companies that
support
exactly the other company. So business must have high liquidity if you are running day-to-day operations. So I built businesses that are of high liquidity. They generate almost money daily, and then they are able to sustain the others. And then at the end of the day, we're able to complement the rest of the
so you
the
can
operations.
manage the risk of delay,
Exactly.
delayed payments and the like.
Exactly, yes.
Amazing. When I'm talking to people that are running startups, there's an issue that I always focus on, and which is about people. So, what is your leadership style to manage your team?
So my team, they are more or less like my friends. Eventually, I make friends with everyone I have worked with at the end of the day, wherever it was. I've never had a friend whereby we stopped working and then he went somewhere and then he forgot me. You know, I still get calls like people I met like 6 years ago. I say, I remembered you. Can you do this project? I'm like, whoa, okay. So you have to keep relationships open. If there are issues, you have to sit down and say, gentlemen, we have this project. This project is working like this, and this is how we are going to work on this project. And other team members, you can't just pay them salary. You know, it's like you are running a company as a CEO, and then you have bonuses, right? You end up giving them bonuses at the end of the day. I say, gentlemen, we have executed a very nice project at the end of the day. Let's celebrate. These are the bonuses that you are supposed to get as a team.
You go for the friendship model. You go for paying bonus.
Yes, and then you treat them as family.
And
you are at the same level. There is no like, oh, you are the manager or the CEO. I'm this. I said, no, we are a team. So as we are working a team, we are at the same level.
What if they're rude?
I haven't.
Advantage of that open door policy.
I think tech guys are not good. I don't know. I haven't.
You don't work with tech.
I haven't met you.
You don't work with marketing. You work with finance. You work with maybe designers and stuff.
I work with I work with tech guys. I work with drivers. I work with builders. I work with so many people. I know the others who are so difficult, but then when you reason with them and say, this is how this thing work, just understand it. You know, I had a friend.
It doesn't work like that always.
You know, I had a friend.
Disputes happen.
Yes, I've been there. I've been to the police.
Yes.
I've been to court and stuff to sort out issues.
Don't
right?
make it look all rosy here. In this podcast, we call it as it is.
Yeah. So
how do you deal with
Well,
internal fights as a leader?
Well, I've fought with people and stuff. The others that gone rogue, they're like, oh, we can't do. I have a guy who stole even my software. Yeah, he stole all the technology and stuff and everything, and then I could see everything and all. I was like, oh.
You sold him?
Yeah, I was about to do that. Then I said, no, this is not a good idea. Let me use the Bible. They said, ngati muntu uyu ali mulungudi kuti akulalikira zipita pasogolo koma ngati siye sizichedwa kuti yes so well fast forward he failed eventually. So there are so many issues that happen. Some you sit down, you discuss, some people go rogue and then they will do other things, just leave them. Time fixes everything at the end of the day. Some people will take us to court, then you sit down and say, no, my guy, this is how we fix things and stuff. You know, I always look at all the options when I'm doing something to avoid the unfavorable conditions at the end of the day. Yeah. So you solve all those issues, you fix bad blood if it works and stuff. But yeah, life is dynamic.
Life is complicated.
There are so many things that are happening.
Yeah.
But then if you are moving forward based on the goal that you want to achieve at the end of the day, that's what you call we are being effective, we are being productive, we are delivering, we are meeting the goal that we planned to meet at the end of the day, despite all the circumstances.
Cool. I think like you're giving me PR answers. Yeah, that are well organized, protecting your team, building a company, and the like. Anyway, I think we were almost time to the cut-off time of the episode. What do you want people? What do you want people to remember you as? Not when you die, probably when you retire. Yeah, because you know when you say that you die. People are like, no. You want to kiss me?
Yeah, of course. Of course, I'm planning to retire soon. So I have two things to do when I build everything to that section. So I want to keep on mentoring young men to go into business, take, if I can manage even to finance their projects, whatever they are doing, to build bigger businesses and startups. Startups can do more. They can influence, they can change the game and stuff. So that will be the focus or the goal.
Finance this guy who's a producer. He's a company, so they will use your money.
so that's the other thing. The other thing, when I do, of course, I'll keep on doing other businesses and stuff, but I have to do something very different from technology, very far from tech.
Agriculture.
No, I can't do farming. I'm not a fan. Not agriculture, not any industry.
Okay.
So I'll set up. Mental health is a big issue.
Yeah.
I have so many friends who had some issues.
Yeah.
We talked, we discussed, we didn't lose anyone. Some people, their issues, they just need finance. Some they need guidance. Some they need advice.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't say prayers as of now because you have issues. I will be praying here, but the Bible says we have the power to do something first, and then we will complement with a prayer and all. So I think I would also do something in that direction. Only that I think I still have some time to maneuver around.
Yeah.
For now, let's build something bigger, more effective, that will grow bigger, and then we want to make noise about it. We will move the way we are moving. People give us review. I said, how did you find yourself at this company? I'm like, that's how we have to roll, right?
Okay.
There is no need for noise. There is no need for this and that. But as far as we are doing what we are supposed to do, it has to work. That's the best thing we can do.
Amazing. Anyway, I look forward to what you're going to be building. I don't know if it's going to be Giant Plus 2.0 or 3.0, however you want to call it. But imagine if you built Giant Plus. So you would put everything that you planned, the agriculture innovation, the tourism innovation, and so many things that you're doing, and you call it Giant Plus.
Well, if I want to build a technology, we are too busy.
Like a super app or something.
Not really. It will be a simple one. We are too busy doing other things. But you have seen these telecom companies innovating Mpamba card, banks we pay and stuff. But then if you look at everything, you discover that we are paying out. Everyone is creating an innovation that will make us lose money. That's very strange.
Not good.
Exactly.
What if you create something that makes you...
That's the whole idea.
Yeah.
So if someone creates something that will remit money, people like you, myself, would like to work online.
Yeah.
On Fiverr, we would like to invest in Bitcoin, we would like to invest in stock and stuff and all the things. But for the money to come in is so difficult.
It's difficult.
Even our clients in Tanzania, when they want to pay us, we use the traditional ways to make sure our money comes back, right? Because no one has built an app that can remit money.
Yeah. And
that would be a very huge benefit for the government, everyone, because the money, the dollars are coming in. So maybe if time allows, every variable is at its peak and stuff, maybe you might try something like that. That is but if someone jumps on it faster, that would be very nice as well. The space is more open. There are so many things you can do. Yeah. Great.
Anyway, let's conclude. This has been a crazy and interesting one, and I'm so happy that he spoke about anything startup and anything in the space of business, of IT, software, and the like. Until next time, I'm happy that you are here. Subscribe, please hit that bell button so that you get all the content that I put here on this channel. See you in the next one.